I've gotten so good at this technique that I call getting off the merry-go-round, where I see that the merry-go-round has begun, and I see that the merry-go-round is just going to keep going around like that in a discussion, let's say, where we're never going to agree on the thing. We have a fundamental difference in perspectives on a matter, and so neither one of us is going to convince the other of anything. Once I perceive that merry-go-round has begun turning, then that is the time when I'll say, this is the time for me to exit the merry-go-round. So I don't have to wait until I'm frustrated or angry or impatient or any of those things. I sense it within me, and it really comes from being mindful of what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling all the time. And I don't know if I've told you, you might think that that's very difficult. It's not. I also used to think that would be very difficult, to just be mindful all the time of what I'm feeling. Well, let me tell you a technique that makes it 1,000 times easier. You don't have to be mindful of how you're feeling all the time. The simplest way to do it is to simply be mindful of when you go from feeling pleasant to feeling not so pleasant. That's the only thing you have to be mindful of. So I'm constantly in a very content, calm state, 99% of the time. It's a feeling of tranquility. When my feelings, my emotions, go from feeling tranquil, peaceful, and calm to feeling agitated, I notice it. You see, that is not hard to notice, is it? It's definitely not as hard as just sitting around being aware of exactly what you're feeling all the time. So, because that's an impossibility. So you don't have to demand that of yourself in order to have great control over yourself. The only thing you have to do is recognize when you go from a tranquil, comfortable state, like a peaceful state, of feeling good, to now your feelings are agitated, or you feel frustration, or you feel anything negative. You know how that feels in your body, right? It's an instant agitation. So I've gotten very good at practicing this technique with my friend Jeff. We'll be going along. I'll be really enjoying my time with him, really enjoying his company. We'll be talking along. I'm not sitting there thinking about how I'm feeling, but we start talking about something, and I feel my feelings shift to it, like in the direction of agitation, or it's kind of like a feeling of where's this conversation going. That is when the merry-go-round is starting to turn. So that's when I take note, and I might allow myself to talk along for another 2, 3, 5 minutes. But once I recognize that I'm on the merry-go-round, I'm immediately looking for my opportunity to get off the merry-go-round at that point before I ever get frustrated or angry or impatient or any of those things that we talked about. So the only reason that I've had the opportunity to practice this is because I have an unhealthy friend. Think about that. If I'm around healthy people all the time that I completely agree with in everything, what opportunities do I have to practice maintaining my emotional health and contentment and peace in real world situations? The only way you get good at that is with practice. So maybe you're surrounded by a bunch of unhealthy people at work. That's an opportunity for practice. Maybe you have unhealthy neighbors that you have to interact with from time to time. Maybe you have an ex that you share children with and visitation rights with, and you have to have interactions with her if she's unhealthy. That's your opportunity to practice. We need the practice in order to get better, because you try a thing and you say, I failed, I need to tweak my approach a little bit, or I let the merry-go-round go for too long. I could have recognized it sooner. I could have gotten off that circus ride sooner.